Click the large blocks of color at the bottom of the toolbar. You open the Color Picker window. Clicking anywhere on it sets the color picker to that range of colors. It is a graduated block of color, which you can click to select a particular shade. Click the foreground or background color square on the toolbox. The active square will have a double frame. Also, Photoshop gives you this color palette window. Open it if it's not already open. Goes to Window, Show Color. Now you can set your color range by moving any of the sliders. An exclamation point indicates that there is no color available equivalent to the color you picked. If your color picker doesn't show up, open File, Preferences General, and set the color picker to Photoshop. Here are the color structures you can use. You will find them under Image Mode: Bitmap, Grayscale, RGB Color, Indexed Color, CMYK Color, Duotone, Lab Color, Multi-Channel. Bitmap and Grayscale. Let's have a closer look of Photoshop's color structures. We'll start with Bitmap and Grayscale. To access Bitmap, you have to select first Grayscale. Within the Bitmap box, you can choose the resolution and the method to display your black and white image. The Bitmap mode uses only two color values to display images, black and white, whereas the Grayscale mode offers 256 shades of gray that range from white to black, like this picture of pool balls. The Grayscale mode. If you want to change your color photo to grayscale, simply select Image Mode, Grayscale. RGB is the color mode for you to work on your color pictures. Do all your color adjustments in RGB mode if you are going to use your color image for a video, a desktop, or web presentation. Convert your image to index mode after you are done with your color corrections for using it on the web. The RGB window gives you a numeric setting option on a scale of 0 to 255 for each of 3 RGB primaries. By selecting pure values of 0 to 255 for each of the 3 RGB, you can teach yourself the color structure of the light prism. For example, by setting all 3 primaries at a value of 137, half of 255, you get medium gray or pure black spaces, the values of the RGB primaries at 0. Open the Indexed Color dialog box by choosing Image Mode, Indexed Color. The Indexed Color mode includes a specific web palette that prepares your image for the World Wide Web or for the use in multimedia. Indexed Color optimizes your image for the web by reducing the number of colors to 216. An image that contains more than 256 colors is not always accepted by other applications. By converting your picture in Indexed Color mode, first use RGB Color mode. Then go to Image Menu Mode, Indexed Color. Check the Preview box. You can choose Web for web purposes. By choosing the Adaptive or Uniform palette, you can set a color depth to specify number of colors in the window. Adaptive will be best choice for most of the work in Indexed Color. Go to CMYK mode. The CMYK mode used for printing is based on the 4 colors of printing inks: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Check the Preview box. CMYK displays better with Preview on. Now perform your color adjustment for the final print. Make sure your monitor is calibrated. See your Photoshop manual. Again, if you are going to publish your picture on the web, use Indexed Color or use RGB and then convert. By using the color wheel you see the HSB color model. H stands for hue that is expressed in degrees 0 to 360. S is saturation for the strength of the color and its percentage of the color. B stands for brightness that is equivalent to the value used by the RGB model and is also measured as a percentage from 0% black to 100% white. Practice by adjusting the color parameter option to find your satisfaction for the look of your final image. Important for you to use CMYK for color print and RGB video. Color performance and adjustments. Now we will learn about the tools for making color adjustments. You can find them all on the Image Adjust menu. Some of these color adjustment commands are more or less complicated to use. It will depend on your image and which command you choose to work with. First, you should know these precise color adjustments. We will start with the Variations box. First, open an image like Arizona from the sample box, and then choose Image Adjust Variations. When you first open the Variations dialog box, you will see the first original image. Use the slider to the left, Fine, or right, Coarse, to control the degree of adjustment each variation applies to the original image. Set the radio buttons according to what you want to adjust: shadows, midtones, highlights, or saturation. When you select shadows, midtones, or highlights, you adjust the hue and brightness of only that part of the picture. Each setting is independent of the others, and you can, for example, set the midtones to be more green, thus can brightening the sky. Undo your current setting by clicking the original image window. Some tips for you to follow. Less saturation gives you a lighter image. More saturation gives you a darker one. To add color, click the appropriate color thumbnail. To reduce a color, click its color wheel opposite. To reduce magenta, for example, click green. To adjust the brightness, click the thumbnails for a lighter or darker image. Work with all those options and use all the kinds of variations to find the best look for your image. Select the best for you. To go back to the original image, press Option-Alt to change the Cancel button. To reset, click OK to apply your adjustment. These are the Load and Save buttons. If you like your settings and you want to use them again, then load them each time you want to apply it to a new image. After you push the Save button, a typical dialog box asks you to give your settings a name. Then when you need to apply them to another picture, use the Load button to select and open your setting file, and your adjustment will be made. Let's start with levels and curves. You can set the brightness using levels by choosing Image Adjust Levels. In a color image, you can adjust a composite RGB or CMYK color image. For now, use the composite RGB. Check the preview box. It shows your changes in the image. Set the black and white point by moving the right input level slider to the point where the light pixels begin to rise. To set the contrast in the image, use the sliders on the output level bar. Click OK when you're done. Try the eyedroppers to correct your image. There are 3 levels of ranges. White for the lightest part of the image, and so a mid-range dropper, and also one for a darkest point on the image. Another option is auto level. Try it, but be prepared to undo. By adjusting with the Curves command, you can correct a picture's highlights, quarter tones, midtones, and dark areas individually. It allows you to correct at any point instead of adjusting at only 3 points, black, middle, and white. Use the channel palette to adjust a combination of 1 or more channels at the same time. With the pointer over the grid, the default input and output readouts are the brightness values for RGB mode or percentage values for CMYK color mode. For more accurate adjusting, click on the curve to create up to 14 points to force the curve to remain fixed, then drag between points to make more precise changes. The Curve Pencil tool tends to produce bad curves, which can cause inconsistency in the colors. As always, check the preview box so you can see the effects of your changes. As with Levels window, you can use the eyedroppers to adjust the values or click Auto. To correct the general color of the image or main parts, use the Color Balance option. Select the image or a part of an image to correct. Open the Color Balance window by choosing Image Adjust Color Balance. Choose shadows, midtones, or highlights. Check Preserve Luminosity so that you don't change the brightness of the image as you shift colors. Use the sliders to correct the color. The numbers in the boxes change to indicate how much of a change you are making. They range from 0 to plus 100, toward red, green, and blue, and to negative 100, toward cyan, magenta, and yellow. Also, you can change the dark and light areas. If you cannot correct your image to your satisfaction, you may try to change the saturation or lightness level. To change the saturation or lightness level, open Image, Adjust, and go to the submenu Hue Saturation. Open the Edit dropout menu and choose your color for the correction, or stay in Master Mode. Like the color balance window, the numbers in the boxes change to indicate how much of a change you are making. They range from 0 to -100, moves the saturation slider all the way to the left. Make sure the preview box is checked. If you choose a preset color range from the Edit dropout menu, the adjustment slider and color selection come available. Also, you can change the hue and light areas. All color adjustments will be displayed in this color bar. Try and check some adjustments. Brightness, contrast. An easier way to use brightness contrast is to change the tonal range of your image all at once. Go to Image, Adjust, Brightness Contrast. Once again, check the preview box so that you can see the effect your changes have on the image. Use the sliders to adjust the brightness and contrast. Remember, you can use the Variations window or Levels or Curves to adjust the brightness and contrast. If you do not want to apply your adjustments to the whole picture, but selectively to a single area, check Adjustment Layers. Photoshop lets you apply adjustment layers. You can split your image in levels of adjustments and apply single adjustment types to it. Choose a layer in the color image. Layers below this layer can be affected if you want them to be. Choose any of the following mode and opacity combinations for the selected layer. Follow this example. It is a simple combination of adjustment of levels to one picture for a better understanding of the layer option.